What is up? How much time I got? Like an hour? Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Sweet. Huh? Yeah, I charge for that. Link is in the bio. Alright, I'm very below Mr. Fifth. P stands for? Thank you very much. Bodaciously, thank you, Jess. Appreciate that. When I was thinking about if I was even going to do this, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? So I thought I'd just kind of, just share my story with you, and maybe you'll laugh, maybe you won't, and I'll go to bed crying, but that's okay. So, I don't know if y'all know, but I was actually born in Pennsylvania, in West Philadelphia. No, I'm just kidding. So I was only there for the first 8 years of my life, okay? And both of my parents are from the south side of Chicago, okay? And so my parents have seen a lot of stuff. And so as good parents, they're like, we want to, raise our kids in a, much better environment, right? My dad was part of, gangs and being around drugs and just all that, wonderful stuff, right? So they definitely did put us in the exact opposite environment. Because I was always been around in white neighborhoods, okay? So I've always felt alone, but that's okay. So,
you're not alone.
Thank you, appreciate that. I mean, there's like 3 of us, but all right, so moved to Wisconsin when I was like 8 years old, and so I was in Waukesha for a little bit, and that was okay. And then we migrated north, ironically, to a small little town called Johnson Creek. Does anyone know where Johnson Creek, Wisconsin is? Yeah, it was like one person, okay? Small little hick town, right where it belonged, okay? So, I'm getting there, I think I was in 8th grade. And I'll never forget my first day of school. I walk in the doors, and then all of a sudden I just see everybody else just like, we got those here? Does anyone know about this? And I'm just like, yep, here we go, Dad. But see, at first, they loved me because they found out that I wanted to play sports. So they thought I was going to be their Michael Jordan. And I was going to be like their Donovan McNabb. But they don't know, I've never played sports before. So I was like the worst player on the team. So when they found that out, their true colors came out. Okay? Oh yeah. So the first couple years, it was definitely really tough. Like really tough. I was definitely like, oh no, okay? So like one example is we were like, all in our classrooms and whatnot. And I think I got really frustrated. No. Okay, so one of the other kids like cussed or whatever. Okay? And then, like, nothing happened. And then I think I raised my hand, and I said a cuss word or something. And then this girl was like, Bernie said a cuss word. I'm like, oh, Dave's in the room. Girl, you said the same thing. She's like, no, I didn't. Got in trouble. Speaking of trouble, if you guys don't know, I'm actually a fighter, and I'm actually undefeated. Okay? TC, watch out. Okay. So I'm actually 1-0, and my one win was when I was in like kindergarten. Okay. And I had a hot for this cute little white girl named Jillian, and she was as fine as you can be at like 7 years old. And I remember, like at home I had this like flower that was like in our bathroom on the toilet. And I would always like put it on her desk. And somehow, I literally don't know how, but somehow that flower always ended bad at home. I don't know what happened. But anyway, so I had the hot school for Jillian, okay? And around, recess, playing, having a good time, all of a sudden I hear this angelic voice in the background, like, stop, let me know. So I'm like, who's messing with my girl? And so I look back, and my, ironically, friend Paul was like chasing her around. So I went up to Paul, and I was like, boom! Knocked his butt on the ground. I got you, Dave. And I got detention. And I went home, and my dad was like, "You're grounded, but good job, don't tell your mom." So I'm undefeated, so I just wanted to share it. Watch out. So yeah, high school. High school was definitely different. Let's see, what other great stories? You guys had high school floats, right? Yeah. Our senior float had a Confederate flag on it, so that was fun. I felt right at home there. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just taking homecoming home today. Okay. Because I don't know if I'm going to make it off this float. But later on, the guy that put that on there, he apologized and all that. So that was great. Okay. So because I was always in all white environments, my parents forced me my first year of college to go to an HBCU. Oh, there's white people. That's a historically black college. Okay? So it's all black people. So it was really my first time around all black people. And it was interesting because people were like, "Oh, Bernie, are you going to be culture shocked?" I'm like, if anything, I'm going to be home. What do you mean? Culture shocked. Okay? But it was weird because, you're obviously a product of your environment, right? So when I was in high school, I wasn't their stereotypical black guy because, they've never had this after school before, so all they had was what was on MTV. Oh, there's 20-year-olds. So that MTV was a TV show that played music videos before there was YouTube, okay? That's MTV. As a matter of fact, I think Michael Jackson's Thriller was the first music video on MTV. I don't know if that's true. Billie Jean, thank you. Of course, Jamie Jean, first ever. Okay. All right, so they were like, okay, well, you're the whitest black guy ever. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but all right. And then I go to HBCU, and I'm like, okay, what's up, fam? And they're like, you're not one of us. I'm like, well, I'm confused now, Dad. I don't know what you want me to do. So I was only there for 1 year. So then I went to the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, and then dropped out like all the successful cut-up kids do. Any college dropouts? Yeah. Oh yeah. That's your opportunity. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's awesome. Okay. So then, fast forward to my Cutco journey. Any 2010s in here? Cutco started 2010s. Okay, a couple of them. I was a mailer. Any mailers? Yeah. I threw away my first mail because I had no idea what a vector or what a Cutco was, so I threw it away. They sent me a second one. I'm like, they obviously need me. I'm like, all right. And I don't know if you guys actually noticed, but my fast start, I sold $250. And my first summer, I did double my business, and I sold 527 CPM. Thank you very much. So, people would ask me, how is the selling eyes being black? I'm like, it's fine with me. I don't know. What do you mean? Taking all their money. This is great. They're like, well, do you sell a lot? Do you sell a lot to, or do you sell to a lot of black people? I'm like, absolutely not. They are the cheapest people on earth. Okay? At first I feel good because they're coming up like, hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? I like to support our own. Tell me about your knives. I'm doing my World Star demo, And then I tell them the price. And as soon as it's every time, and ask any black person in here that actually works events, it's how much? No. Just for this little butter knife right here, I'm running a whole set. How much? Man, you must be tripping. I'm like, there goes another one. So maybe we should have a lower grade tier system for certain people. But that's okay. Okay, so now with Cutco, I do have to share one story, and I might go over time. Is Josh Gordon here, Ransom Jones?
Was there?
Dang it, I wish he was in here. All right, so I'm working in Chicago. Hate working in Chicago, by the way. One of the worst cities ever. Anyway, that's a different topic. So I'm working in Chicago with Josh Ford. Any Josh Ford fans in here? Alright, there's like 2 people. Great. Alright, so and with this other young black rep who doesn't sell Pepco anymore, okay? So it's Josh's turn. So it's me, Josh, and then this guy named Michael Foreman. So Josh's turn. He's up, okay? So this black lady comes up, straight up to Josh. And she's like, oh, can you tell me about your knives? So he goes, well, one of these 2 gentlemen can help you out. And she's like, oh, what, you can't take care of me? You just think that black guys have to help me out? And he's like, no, it's a turn, it's not my hand, take turn. She's like, whatever. Next customer. Another black lady comes up. This time it is his turn, okay? So he's pitching her and doing the thing, and she's like giving him objections, and he's trying to handle the objections like 2 or 3 times, and like the 3rd time she like gets pissed off and storms off, and like is like cussing him out, and me and Michael are like, bro, there ain't no amount of training that can prepare you for an angry black woman. Drew Frank cannot help you in that situation. Next customer. Mexican guy comes up. Yeah. All right. And it's Josh's turn. So he's asking about the flatware. Josh is pitching him the flatware. And the Mexican dude's like, well, how much is it? And Josh is like, well, just so you know, it ain't cheap. And he's like, you should never prejudge your customers. Storms off. Next customer. Josh is up. Asian couple comes up. Any Asians? Oh, there we go. All right. Let me do my time. There we go. All right. So he actually sells in the set. Yeah. But then like 10 minutes later, they come back up to the booth and was like, hey Josh, it's the same exact price online. You said this was the best deal ever. Cancels the order. And Michael and I are just losing it in the back, and I'm like, Josh, you need a sign that says whites only above your head. Clearly, you don't know how to sell to anybody else. Except for those that look like you, so we need this program. That's my time. Thank you all.